Thank you for that lovely introduction. So, my name is Tarik Zepcan from La Trobe University, and my talk tonight is entitled Improving the Welfare of Our Sheep for Our Future. And unfortunately, this presentation is not about a new lamb ad, nor is it about getting some steaks on the barbie or lamb chops on the barbie. It is about the starvation of some of our sheep. So currently, Australia's sheep industry is worth a whopping $4.83 billion. Unfortunately, this industry is being hemorrhaged by 5 to 8% profit losses due to the starvation of some of its animals, as pictured here. So starvation is defined as the suffering or loss of life due to a direct deprivation of food. And now this direct deprivation of food can either be caused by natural events such as drought or by direct human negligence. Now, unfortunately, last year, 20 different farmers were prosecuted for not upholding animal welfare regulations, although most of these cases were actually dismissed on the grounds of a lack of evidence to actually prove that these animals were starved or not. So this is where the problem lies, that currently industry professionals such as veterinarians in the field have no way to diagnose starvation in an already deceased animal, as current diagnosis for starvation is based around body condition scoring. So body condition scoring, as pictured here, is the physical process of feeling the amount of tissue and fat around the sheep's vertebrae and then judging that and giving it a rank of 1 to 5 to indicate its condition. As mentioned earlier before, it's only applicable to live animals, and a dead animal is very different physically and biochemically from a living animal. So the solution that I've been working on this year has to do with the mandible, or the jawbone, pictured here in orange. And specifically, the answer is found deep within the marrow of this bone, specifically part of the marrow, the fat component. And now, my work has been based on other previous studies that have been conducted all over the world on moose, reindeer, kudu, and impala. And all of these studies have been conducted on different animals, but none have looked at the relationship between mandibular bone marrow fat and sheep condition. So for approximately 1 year, this is what I've been working on. And here we have a sample of marrow that has been separated into its 3 primary components: fat, water, and protein. And there's always a little bit of bone at the end of the test tube. And as stated before, what interested me was the fat component. So the fat component, when dried and analysed, looks like this, and it resembles a typical fat. It's very white, very soft, very gelatinous. But in fact, the amount of this fat present inside the mandible can be linked back to how healthy or unhealthy this animal is, specifically investigating its relative body condition. So this is some of the work I've been working on. Unfortunately, you can't see the fat results, but this box plot shows the average amount of fat in healthy and skinny sheep across 7 different testing days. So this work is to do with the average protein percentage, as you saw in the former slide. And we can see that across the 7 different days, skinny sheep consistently had more protein present in their bone marrow than healthy sheep. And behind it was actually a graph that showed the amount of fat, which mainly interested me. This was actually a bonus that we sort of found and didn't expect to find. So what we found in the fat of the sheep that when tested, on average, skinny sheep contain less fat than healthy sheep. And specifically, when we looked at how different environmental conditions, such as Australian summer and winter conditions, impact the marrow percentage of the sheep, we found that across winter, across the same 7 days, healthy sheep consistently showed more fat than these skinny sheep. And so this brings me to the end of my presentation, but this work has been conducted by La Trobe University. Here are some people and their relative organisations I'd like to thank.